So, alright, bye guys. Get back here. Right now. Good, now stay like that. I departed from the production of this video because this is about Exodus, which means departure. We're here again. So specifically, keep doing this every single time. Yes, we need to educate our viewers. That's what the series is about, isn't it?
Exodus.
A mass departure of people, especially immigrants. But the most famous example is in the biblical book of the same name, and that's what we're learning today. I can even prove it.
Exodus.
Second definition, the departure of the Israelites from Egypt.
We already listened to the pronunciation though.
Does it matter? So let's start chapters 1 to 18. The Exodus from Egypt. I was saying. Okay, let me read this. Centuries have passed ever since the conclusion of Genesis, the first book of the Bible. Specifically 350 years. And the Israelites, descending from the line of Jacob, well, actually Judah, Jacob's fourth son, had been fruitful and multiplied and filled the land. Although apparently on the Google Docs we're using multiplied is not supposed to be there, but it does not matter. We're British, not American, Google. Hear that right now. This is going up on a platform you own. You better know this. We're British, not American. This harkens back to God's blessing for humanity in Genesis 1:28, before Britain or any other nation even existed, except for Israel. Wait, but no nation existed back in Genesis. What?
I don't get it.
I don't get it. What? Well, as it turns out, Israel kind of existed, but there's someone who wants to end all that before it even gets started. Pharaoh. Pharaoh! He's the main villain of the book. And he's the worst character in the Bible so far, and even today, he's still widely regarded as one of the most evil people to ever appear in all of the 66 books in this book. He's a bad dude. He sees Israel as a threat to his power, however, and attempts multiple times to destroy them, including ordering all firstborn sons of the Israelites to be drowned in the Nile River. Just saying that makes, I know, a lot of people cringe in disgust. It's like if Afghanistan ordered every single US soldier to kill at least one Afghan civilian. I don't know, man. During the whole war that went on for 20 good years. His kingdom epitomizes humanity's rebellion against God. He's even worse than Babylon. And I think you guys know how bad Babylon is. We're not at them right now, but this dude is already worse than that entire empire, which is pretty bad news. It's going to last a lot of books, so watch out for Babylon. They're also really bad people. Israel cries out to God, of course, since they don't want to get destroyed so easily. And he responds. Now, of course, I should point out, God responding to his own children in trouble, it might take some time. You can't always expect it to be quick. For example, the Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue are named Lightspeed Rescue, but obviously they cannot save people at light speed. That's just not possible. They would be crushed to death immediately. They do save people fast enough though, so...
Which is why they have the morphing grid to protect them if they go at such speeds. You realize that, and God can go even faster than that.
Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. Well, they didn't exist in this time, so let's focus on the stuff that did exist during this time. Fair. So Israel cries out to God, and he does respond pretty quickly, as an Israelite mother sends her son through the Nile River in a basket to safety, eventually being raised by one of Pharaoh's daughters as Moses, and is commissioned by God to rescue the Israelites in the form of a burning bush. Now, of course, we're skipping over a lot of details of Moses' actual life story, I'm sure that Prince of Egypt purists are really mad because, wait, let me look up the plot again. Yep, skipping over a whole lot. Just, you guys can tell this is a whole bunch of stuff that we definitely don't care about. We're not going to cover it in this video. So try to go watch Prince of Egypt to actually get Moses'
It's a really good
life
film.
story.
We used to watch it in our childhood. It's pretty banging, so go watch it.
It also should actually give you a pretty good story of, well, only the first half of Exodus. Don't watch it if you plan on actually learning about Exodus in its entirety, but do watch it if you plan on learning about Exodus in its first half entirety.
That's a bit too specific, so just please watch it in general, and let's get back to this. Multiple times Moses tries to confront Pharaoh about his evil. And all of them, plus God himself, failed at that. In response, God launched 10 different plagues as he kept hardening his heart.
Let's just imagine for this, alright? Pharaoh and the plagues of water turning into blood, frogs, lice, flies, livestock, pestilence, boils, hail, locusts, darkness, and the killing of firstborn children all walk into a bar.
Then the latter 10 proceed to beat up the former first to near death.
Again, Prince of Egypt purists, you can already kind of imagine how that goes. There's this really epic song that basically describes it. It's just, what's an object I can use to... Yeah. It's basically like this. Yeah, that's enough!
That's enough.
That's what happens when Pharaoh and all of the 10 plagues that I named walk into a bar.
The most important one is the last one, though. He delivers the killing blow. The 10th plague is the Passover, otherwise known as the killing of all firstborn children.
This is what he does to it. Egypt after the Passover.
It kills all firstborn children.
Yep.
Which, if you technically think about it, is payback for what he used to do. He drowned all firstborn sons of Israel. Now it's revenge time.
Yeah. However, in the Passover, this is very important, God had this special rule for all people who wanted to live, specifically the Israelites. They would need to take a lamb and sacrifice it. Then they would have to paint its blood over their doors so that anytime God was killing all of the firstborn children of Egypt, he would notice the doors with blood and he would pass over them, forgiving them for their sins and protecting Israel. They would also need to have a special dinner dedicated to God and the good things they have done for him. This is known as the Passover, and it's still a traditional part of Israel culture to this day.
And also, I think an official festival or holiday in the Jewish religion. So yeah. Eventually the Passover...
This video is going to be great for Jewish viewers. Like, actually really good.
Eventually, the Passover occurred, which spurred Pharaoh to release the people of Israel.
Mostly out of anger, not out of compassion.
Also because most depictions of the Passover in media, like the Ten Commandments or somewhat Ben-Hur, depict Pharaoh's son dying as well. And this makes him so sad that he just decides...
Screw it! Israel, get out of here! Come on,
go.
Please, just end my suffering.
But while they're leaving, literally, while they're walking out of Egypt and just going into the desert...
Yay, freedom!
He has a last-minute change of heart.
You know what? I actually like having slaves. Egypt, let's go capture them again.
And tries to capture them again. God used this to lead him into his destruction.
They're just getting completely blown up.
Which also causes the famous scene/image you've probably seen of, you've almost definitely seen before, of God splitting the Red Sea in two. If that's what you came for when watching this video, well, I don't blame you. But still, I hope you've been enjoying this other stuff. Make sure to like this video if you did, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so that you never miss a new upload of the series or other stuff we have on this channel. And also comment down below telling us how much you liked it.
You know what? That wasn't too bad.
Oh, hey, thanks. Nothing bad happened, too. Yay. And with that said, okay.
You still should learn not to do it in the middle of the video.
I'm still going to anyways. So with that said, alright, let's get back. The Israelites initially were very thankful to God for doing this. Oh yeah, so just so you know, after he split the Red Sea in two, he let it come crashing back down, which killed all of the Israelites, including Pharaoh.
You mean Egyptians? Why did you say Israelites?
Oh, sorry, Egyptians. They were very thankful to God. The Israelites, the ones who survived. The Egyptians died, the Israelites survived. They were very thankful to God. In fact, they sang the first ever praise song
Ever created in the Bible and in real life. I'm not sure if anyone has actually taken to preserve it. So I looked up the first ever praise song, and I got, this is what I got.
You can find it by reading, I think, somewhere in late Exodus, or maybe mid-Exodus, I think.
That's
well, this
not-
is covering 1 to 18, so probably read somewhere from 16 to 18. That's where you'll actually find the first ever praise song. But yes, they sing the first ever praise song just generally as a token of their gratitude to show that they're thankful. But
they got impatient.
As they wander through the wilderness, they start to lose their faith. Then again, they were in that place for like 400 years or something, so...
Wouldn't most of them be
Although
dead?
even then, it's not even that forgivable anyways, because as you're about to see, the stuff they do while losing their faith does not make the big guy happy. The covenant at Mount Sinai,
Let me read this.
1940.
Let me read this. Okay. Moses leads Israel to the foot of Mount Sinai. So you can basically think of this as a Mount Everest moment. Or something like that. Mount Sinai is basically the Mount Everest of Bible times, where God himself invites all of Israel into a covenant relationship with him. This is a direct development of God's promise to Abraham. So, basically think of this as alien to aliens. That's essentially what this is. That is, to be a representative of God and a blessing to all nations. Now, that's originally what Abraham's job was, but him and his family kind of flopped. But there's still hope.
Well, actually, these people mess up too.
The Israelites eagerly accept God's offer at first, let's be fair, and God sets his presence right on top of Mount Sinai, giving to Moses the basic rules of the covenant in the 10 Commandments. So you can essentially think of these as like you're joining a club based on your interest in school, and they give you just a set of rules to follow in that club. That's essentially what the 10 Commandments are, but it's for the covenant relationship with Israel.
If you came here for the 10 Commandments as well, good job, I guess.
In order, the 10 Commandments are:
here we go. Number 1, do not put other gods before me. Number 2, honor thy father and thy mother, basically thy parents. Number 3, do not murder. Number 4,
don't commit another Sandy Hook. And I know that's an old example to use, but don't commit another Sandy Hook. Trust me, you don't want to do that.
You kind of already know what will happen if you do. Here we go. Okay, let me redo that. So, from the KJV version, it says, number 1, I am the Lord thy God. That doesn't count, but, well, here's the actual number 1. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Number 2, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Number 3, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Number 4, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Number 5, honor thy father and thy mother. Number 6, thou shalt not murder. Number 7, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Don't go cheating on your spouses.
Number 8, thou shalt not steal.
Don't go trying to steal McDonald's latest menu item.
Number 9, thou shalt not bear false witness against any neighbor.
If you catch someone trying to steal your copy of 1978 Halloween, don't say, oh, they tried to steal my copy of Halloween 2018. That's not going to help your case.
And finally, number 10, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house and or wife.
Covetousness means marked by inordinate desire for wealth or possessions or for another possessions. Basically, don't sell your spouse and your house on eBay. Don't do that. It's illegal to sell people as items of financial value anyway.
It's not illegal to sell houses, though.
Yeah, it's not, but don't sell people. That's stupid. And you can't do it.
Oh, wow.
And even if you could, it's stupid.
Okay.
What?
Oh, yeah, so, in the 10 Commandments, there are actually 52 other commands.
But they're not important.
They are. Okay.
After this, God tells Moses that he wants to dwell right in the midst of the Israelites. And what it follows are essentially blueprints, very detailed, like incredibly detailed.
This is definitely the boring part of the book.
Even we can agree it's not an exciting read, but very detailed. About as detailed as a chess set.
At least the World Championship chess sets, anyway.
Of an architectural design known as the tabernacle. You have to say it like that. Tabernacle. Why does it sound like I'm saying Knuckles from Sonic the Hedgehog?
This video will be great for all Sonic fans.
A sacred tent for people to get together and play Sonic 3 and Knuckles together.
Stop, Daniel.
Oh, forgot to dwell on and play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. This is a redemption arc.
Don't do it.
Okay, just one redemption of humanity's fall in Genesis 3. As one of the effects was that access to God's holy presence was lost. By redemption arc, I mostly mean Zuko from Avatar The Last Airbender because he went on a redemption arc and he gained back access to whatever was important to him or something. So yeah, we got back access to watching Avatar on Netflix. That's great, guys. Trust me. All of the intricate details of the time are important. Just as important as the big point in the last video.
And you better stop proving that by nearly destroying this table and our computers too.
Hey, this table is sturdy. It can take a beating. It can take a beating. They're meant to symbolize the Garden of Eden, if you guys remember that. I don't think I mentioned it in Genesis. It was this garden that was basically the start of all life until the serpent ruined it. Fortunately, the garden is still fine. It's just that an angel with a flaming sword is protecting it.
Also, it's nowhere to be found on our current Earth. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But things look pretty bleak if it comes to us trying to find it. God's probably hiding it from us, so
it could be squashed under a Walmart or something. I don't know. The Israelites get impatient, however. They are they are a very stingy species of humans.
Grr.
And force Aaron, Moses' brother, who, trust me, is a gentle soul. He's a pretty cool guy. He doesn't appear much, but he's nice. But he's also,
Easily swayed.
yes, easily swayed, if you've heard of that type. And to make a golden calf for them to praise. Not only just to praise a god, but they literally praise it as the god that got them out of Egypt. Do you think one calf could lead an entire species of humans out of a 400-year slave ruling? Do you really think so?
So already,
Even if it was
by the
golden?
way, after they accept the 10 Commandments, they break the first 2.
What were the first 2 again?
Thou shalt have no other gods before me, and thou shalt not use the name of God in vain.
God.
They broke the first one because they were praising a golden calf, and they broke the second one because they were calling it a god, the god. So, okay. Now the real true God gets really angry.
God considers wiping them all out and starting over with Moses, literally to the point where Moses just breaks the tablets that hold the 10 Commandments. Like, seriously, he breaks them so bad. There's actually still evidence of the broken tablets. Yeah, see? These are all of the tablets of the 10 Commandments being broken. This is hard evidence.
Those are iPads.
Who cares?
Just imagine that there's 10 Commandments. Okay, I can't deal with this guy any longer. Then again, he's my twin brother, so...
But he appeals to God's character and promised to Abraham, and he relents.
Yes. Okay. That's one thing Moses does. In case you haven't noticed at this point, Moses is basically the spokesman for Israel when it comes to the biblical story.
He keeps them from getting into trouble. Well, actually not. He just keeps them from receiving proper punishment.
Yes, but Moses appeals and God...
relent.
Meaning to abandon or mitigate a harsh intention or cruel treatment. Or, especially if bad lover, becoming less severe or intense.
I mean, if God was a weather emotion at that moment, he was probably ready to break out 10 Hurricane Katrinas at the same time. But then Moses was like, that's gonna kill us in 10 seconds. And then it's like, fine, whatever, I'll just give you some heavy rain. Bye.
He still did punish the people who went ahead and did that stupid thing, though. Basically, he was going to launch a bunch of Hurricane Katrinas. Instead, he launched a whole bunch of thunderclouds. Dinos fell out of them. A whole bunch of dinos. Now, of course, if you want to see what Hurricane Katrina looks like, this is what Hurricane Katrina looks like.
Thank you.
Anyways, the book ends with Moses fully constructing the tabernacle, and things look good. But when he tries to enter, he can't. It's meant to be an example of how badly Israel's sin damaged the covenant with God.
Yeah, I guess that was a good example what he did there. Though in all seriousness, he's kind of right.
And how God has plans to fix it all, but there's still a deeper problem that they need to solve. This is what the next book, Leviticus, is going to take a look at.
Well, actually, it's just a bunch of instructions and blueprints, but there's
Fair.
the message hiding in there. You just have to find it.
To conclude this video, it's hard to describe Exodus really, because we could just say the same thing we did for Genesis, and in that it's like a really important book and you absolutely have to read it, which is true, but it's very unique. It has a lot more things that people don't really notice about it. From its structure to the way it's written, the way it's divided nearly in half, 2 stories. One of them is a lot more famous than the other. You know, Exodus is a very meaty book. One interesting thing to note is that the first half that we went over is a whole lot more well-known than the second half.
Mainly because it's been adapted into a whole lot of media. After Jesus and his whole story, Exodus is probably the most translated or portrayed in piece of media from the ancient world.
But the second half is just as important. It's not particularly as exciting, to be totally honest with myself, but it's just as important, maybe even not more important than the actual Exodus from Egypt, mostly because it sets in stone the entire rest of the Bible. Like, the moment that Exodus ends, it's where the rest of the Bible story truly begins.
So yeah, Genesis starts things off, but Exodus gets you into the swing of things when it comes to the Bible.
And that's actually why it's so important to read it. Exodus is practically like Genesis's wacky twin brother. Like, they're practically complete opposites from each other. Even in the titles, Genesis means beginning, Exodus means departure. But departure is not the end of things. That is the book of Genesis. I mean, Exodus. Sorry we keep getting the names confused, they're just kind of similar.
Well, not really. But still.
Anyways, the video's over, so now it's your turn to depart, because I departed at the beginning. I departed at the Genesis. The Sega Genesis, okay. I was gonna leave anyway.